He's making a list.
And here's why
He's
Alpha
fucking
Flight is the
Flight.
gayest comic of the 80s.
There you go, Witch. There you go.
I am evil.
I miss the days where we could always say like Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Now it's all Happy Holidays.
Yeah, because not everyone celebrates fucking Christmas.
How
Cryptid. I don't.
How dare they be inclusive to other cultures and religions?
Oh God
Oh,
forbid.
y'all know what's the real dominant holiday out there. I mean, like
Yeah, because
okay,
of capitalism.
I mean, I can understand, like, okay, if a random Joe Schmo and like you don't know what holidays they celebrate, okay, you can say Happy Holiday. But if you see somebody wearing a Christmas sweater, come on, dude, you can say Merry Christmas.
I feel like that's what happens, though.
Huh?
I feel like that's what it is, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said.
No. What I say is Merry. What I say is Merry Christmas. What I say is Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. There you go.
Yeah, fuck your religion. It's mine.
Yeah, oh God forbid.
Which is the winner of December, Jake? Tell me that.
Before
the
the Christians decided to take everything fun away from us and make it filled with Jesus and capitalism, we did used to have a holiday called Yule. It was pretty slay. I did a whole project about pagan holidays, and that was definitely one of them. So, suck it, nerds. I know my things. Winter solstice, baby.
12 days of Christmas better than Yule.
You know, hey, Jake, you want to know how I celebrated Yule this year?
How?
I had to go to work, right? And then when I got off of work, I got changed out of my work clothes because, ew, why would I want to go do things in my work clothes, you know? And so I went to go see Sonic 3. That's how I celebrated Yule this year.
You celebrate that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. We have a Christmas special episode this year that you insisted on, which instead of a Yule special.
I said a holiday special. Shut up.
There's like this fan project.
Tony's here.
Yeah, hi Tony. Late as usual, I see.
Hi Mark.
Thy Lord Saint Nicoman will show the heathens the true meaning of holiday spirit. There you go, man.
So there's this fan movie that just got finished called Transformers Prime Galvatron's Revenge, and everyone's saying it's the worst Transformers fan film they've ever seen. I'm like, dang, I saw like a clip of this when I was a kid. I gotta see what's up. Gotta watch it. So will I review it for the channel? Who knows? How bad is it? I need to know.
You're not reviewing everything.
You don't know.
Gotcha.
If they reviews that for the channel, which gets exactly what they always wanted, and we will watch the Snap Cube special.
Yeah, but you gotta be a little bit patient before I can go off.
Why not let Witch review the Snap Cube dub here?
No,
we gotta wait for a special time.
If I'm reviewing something, Witch should be reviewing something. That's the trade-off.
But I'm already reviewing something today, though. 2 things, actually.
You know what I mean. But
you know what, Jake? For a special live, we will talk about the Sonic Snap Cube fan dub. Does that sound cool?
We can do it for a lot. We can talk about it. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny as hell.
Yeah. The first one. I think the first one's funny.
Yeah, Jake don't like the
funny.
Yeah. Not a lot of humor.
I think after that, they're just like, you know.
But anyways, we should get started, shall we?
We should. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me get started.
Austin, don't forget to go second.
Gotcha. Well, welcome to Comic Fanatic Live, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and go support your local direct market industries. Yeah.
Yes, and it is I, Jake Tylenol. Christmas has no meaning for me, so. And not just Christmas, Hanukkah, the whole damn holiday season. Like, who cares? That's just me. But, you know.
Austin, go.
Anyway, Breaking Wall here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever weird thing we decided to celebrate this year. Yule, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the birth of Jesus,
Jesus was probably born in the fall. What are you talking about?
Batman, Santa Claus from Marvel, Santa Claus from
That holiday in My Little Pony that I can't remember the name of.
from My Little Pony. Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. Is which turn, I
Robin
guess.
laid an egg, yes. Anyways, I'm gonna cut off Austin before he keeps going. I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and are y'all ready for me to talk about some fruity Canucks having a gay old time this holiday season?
Yeah.
Also, audience, I need to preface something. You can't see it all the time, but my name on here, like my little tag, is Yuletide North Star because I thought it was funny. And the first time Austin saw that, he got freaked out.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, you were like, "Oh my, what the hell is that?" You saw my profile pic, and you're like, "What the hell was that?"
I remember it.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Yeah. And together, we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. But we're doing it only one day this week, okay? This is our special day, our Christmas day, our holidays. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we're changing that title right now. Our holidays.
It's a Christmas episode. All right.
Christmas. We say holiday when all the rest of them already passed.
Yeah. Wait. All our comics today are Christmas based. You notice that?
One technically isn't, but okay.
So,
Christmas.
Yeah, they don't have Christmas.
Shut the fuck up, Cryptid. Let us have something for once.
Yeah, happy Bionicle Day.
Yeah, well, there is a Bionicle Day, which we will get to. So. Anyway, yeah, and so today we're going to be talking about the media news because the comics can be reviewed at any point, but the media, the news, that keeps going. Okay, that never stops. So we'll be talking about some cool topics like the Superman trailer, the Karate Kids Legend trailer, something Annihulus. I'm reading the topics. Oh, we'll also be reviewing the first What If episode. That might be fun, or maybe it won't be. Who knows how we feel about it?
The first two, actually. Yeah, yeah. See.
I don't watch
the second.
Yeah.
We also have Creature Commandos, and then after that's all said and done, we will be reviewing. Let me count these things right here. We'll be reviewing 3 holiday specials. Okay, so these are comics related to the holidays. Unless Cryptid has one I didn't see.
Cryptid does have one, and you know what? Since you like to spoil what we're all talking about, Cryptid's talking about a Deadpool book because it's in his fashion, and like how it is in my fashion, I'm talking about Alpha Flight, Volume 1, Issue 105, and also the newest issue of Avengers Academy, the one that just came out a few days ago.
I will be reviewing a Bionicle holiday special about how much the Telenuva hate each other. So this will be funny. So, that said, I think that's everything. We have socials. I don't think Witch said the socials.
I have not yet, but let's...
Wait. Can you hype up our movie reviews like Craven?
Yeah, so Sanic.
Craven has earned his title amongst the pantheon of Phanatic stuff. So, yeah. He's in there. We also have
watch a movie
to a lesser extent, but Craven comes first. So,
and then Aquaman, yes.
And then Aquaman. But we review this stuff when it comes out. Actually, just yesterday, right? Yesterday? I think
yesterday.
Sonic Movie 3. I'm sure we all liked it just about the same, right? I'm sure there was no disagreements on that.
Yeah, for the most part.
But if you don't believe us, you can go watch that episode. It's on the channel. See what we really thought about it.
He's lying.
Well, don't let them figure that out. So, other than that, am I forgetting anything? We did
socials.
You didn't do, okay, what you say the socials?
Yeah, well, first off foremost, subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, because we do this every week, at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times if you're lucky. Wink wonk. Yeah, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers. I don't remember how many subscribers we currently have, but one of you guys will remind me later, or I'll check later. It's fine. Anyways, you can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. That's where you get all the cool updates. And also you get posting schedules if it's something like this. like this week specifically, where everything is crazy and we have to like change the upload schedule. So follow the Twitter, and sometimes you might get new art. Wink wonk. Why not? Also, if you don't want to follow the main channel or the main social, but you want to follow me, your boy, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Yotin with an E instead of a U because I am too goddamn lazy to change it. You can also follow me. Hey, you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do post things on there, besties. Stay tuned for cool cosplay stuff in the future when I remember to actually post. You can also follow me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. I do post things on there sometimes when I remember to post things on there. And all my socials should be in a Linktree link that Jake should put in the description. If he did, I don't know, but we'll see when we get there. So try to find that. Yeah, if you want to find Austin, I don't know where Austin is, but he's kind of chilling. Yeah, he's a brick wall with bright blue eyes and hot pink blush. Not too hard to miss him. If he's sleeping, you can draw a dick on him. It's all good. Cryptid's in the same spot as always. And Jake,
What's up?
where you at?
I'm in Takoro right now. I'm hearing Tahu talk about how much he hates his team, and it's funny.
Cool. That's all I needed. Anyways, Fantics, this is what we're calling the fans now. Fantics, okay? We're the Fanatics. They're the Fantics, okay? We discussed this. Totally, 100%. Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah. But so, alright then. I guess with that, let's start off with the first topic of the night, audience.
The ones Jake did not post.
Okay,
Alright,
I need to
who wants
preface,
to
I
announce
didn't watch
this
the
one?
full trailer. I only watched part of it because I forgot.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're talking about the Superman teaser trailer, audience. What did y'all think?
I wish our Superman was here.
I know. One of these days he'll appear, man. Our Superman from Philly will return, audience. Mark my words.
Maybe we should get him for the review of
He
the
better. That's
actual
my
movie.
birthday. He better be.
Yeah. To quote a famous hitman, I will find you. But yeah, in terms of this trailer, I can't even say it's a trailer, it's a teaser.
It was long enough to be a trailer, to be fair. It was long enough to be a trailer.
Yeah. But it had good sounds behind it, which is something you kind of need to expect from James Gunn product. I just like how he's putting his name in all this to make sure you know who's responsible for this universe. James Gunn, the guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy.
Yeah, I was just like, why didn't you put Peacemaker?
And I agree, Tony. The era of Zack Snyder is over, and all those Zack Snyder fanboys can shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They just Aaron, did you see that?
Hey, Snyder fans. This Superman has color in his costume.
Oh my god, shocker! Oh my god!
Yeah, he has bright colors.
Well,
oh my god!
To be fair, hang on. Is that that Superman from Zack Snyder Superman did have color? Is that the camera he used muted all the color for the editing?
I know, but still, I'm just saying, hey, right off the bat, right off the teaser, Jake, we have color here,
For once.
Yep. I thought the trailer was fine. It was decent. I wish Superman would smile a little bit more because he kind of needs to have that about him. Like
what's the point though? The trailer,
huh?
It means this movie is going to be about Superman regaining his hope. Something happens. He took him out of wanting to be a hero. He's going to regain that throughout the film.
Okay, I hope so. Hey,
but he's not going to not have Superman smile.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, personally, for me, my favorite scene in this trailer was actually the scene where you had that one kid lifting up the Superman flag. I'm like, okay. Look at that, audience. He's already inspiring hope to people all over the world. Audience,
They're called the Fantics, not the audience. The Fantics.
The Fantics. All
right. It made me believe. It seems like Superman's being blamed for something, or Justice League being blamed for something that happened. I bet a tragedy happened in the world, turned on the Justice League. But in the worst other parts of the world, stuff is still going down. They still need Superman regardless.
Mm-hmm. The world still needs heroes after all. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of heroes, that is one negative I kind of want to bring up when I saw the teaser, right? I was kind of excited to see Guy Gardner getting some spotlight, right? It's his time to shine at a big screen audience, all right? Hal had his chance. You all know you're going to be getting your Jon Stewart, but show some love to Guy, man, all right? And I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with a real life Guy Gardner, all right?
Hey,
But
Cryptid, I have a question for you.
yeah.
If Guy Gardner got gender bent, do you think that she would be called Gal Gardner?
I
So,
think so. No, I'm pretty sure like in Batman Beyond there was Guy Gardner had a descendant who was a girl who was basically a gender bent Guy Gardner. So, I
You
forgot
didn't
her
even
anytime they
name.
show.
get a guy, they don't pick the most obvious girl name for some reason. They never
Hmm
do it.
I know, right? But yeah. So when I finally got to see him, he looks awkward. I don't know
He,
what was it.
it's because the run he based on. I seen the picture. He looks just like this. If I can find it
I
again, I'll post it for you. But he looks just like this picture.
I guess, but he just kind of looks. He looks a little old, man, to have that sort of
That's the point.
haircut.
All the Green Lanterns, but Jon Stewart are old right now. All of them are older than him.
Hmm. Okay, so
Do you
that's
not
the
see
one.
Hal Jordan's actor and stuff? All of them are old.
Okay. Well, I haven't been keeping up to date on that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Everyone's old. John is like the middle age Green Lantern right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like he clearly came after the guy and the other guy, and the show
Yep.
might introduce Kyle. Is my understanding. As the new younger
Kyle.
rookie Green Lantern.
Gotcha. Our buddy Tony is saying they say, why are they making Superman political and woke? We must return to Monkey. And also, Guy
So
Gardner looks like
from now
coconut.
on, we're ignoring you. You know that.
And also, Guy Gardner looks like Coconut Head from Nancy Classified.
Oof, not Nancy Classified.
Oh, I used to watch that show all the time. Yeah, but yeah, he does have that coconut head looking feature to him. You know.
I found it. I found the crypto. I'm about to post it for you.
Okay. Do-do-do-do.
Uh,
But yeah,
Well,
the
they do that,
soundtrack was
audience.
the soundtrack was amazing in this teaser. Thought that was good. Seeing Superman punch through that cage he was in, pretty dynamic. Oh, and we got to see Crypto, audience. Again,
that's
it's
not my
showing.
crypto.
Huh?
That's not my crypto.
What was that?
Did you
That's not
see
your
that
crypto?
meme?
Oh, what you got against this crypto?
You, that's not my crypto. Everyone knows what dog crypto is. All right.
Did you
They
guys see
have to.
the meme of that one scene in the trailer? But
Okay.
instead of Crypto the dog, it was a cat, and then Superman
No.
tried calling the cat, being like, "Psst, psst, psst, psst," but failed and he died.
No.
Gotcha.
Well, you should look that up. It's
Okay.
funny.
Okay. I see that picture you posted up, Boston. God dang! Like, what's Guy Gardner on? His eyes are like bloodshot
Yeah.
red.
So before they
Yeah.
read this design, he to look like this, and this was
Yeah.
the one. Uh, the guy went with for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. I guess just just make sure his acting is faithful to Guy Gardner as much as possible, so he can overlook the awkward coconut head design. All right. That's all I'm asking. Let's see what else. But yeah, as far as crypto
You're not
goes,
gonna talk about the
again.
rest of the Justice League that showed up.
Oh well, okay, Mr. Terrific. Looks like Mr. Terrific. I don't know what else you could say. I don't know.
Metamorpho, Hawk Girl.
Okay, Hot Girl. Okay, I mean they were just blinking you miss it. You know.
They girl, you can't talk bad about his design and not hype up their design. They look great. Except for terrific. But that's more what the
Okay, I
actor
mean,
outfit.
okay, I mean, yeah, they look what you would expect their designs to look like, I guess. You know. I mean, we've seen adaptations of Hawk Girl several times in the past several years, so there's only so many different designs you can go for her. Mr. Terrific. I mean, Come on,
I think
there's
this
not
is
much
his
you can
first
do in
live
this
action
book.
appearance. Like in anything.
Huh? Wait, what was that?
I think this is his first live action appearance in anything.
Who, Mr. Terrific?
Yeah.
Oh no, he was in Arrowverse. I mean, that's still fresh in my mind.
I don't count that. I ain't watched that.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Austin, like, dude, he was basically Cisco. They just, yeah,
Yeah. So we're gonna move on from that because
yeah,
that just wants the mood. And
yeah,
no, I really liked it because Superman being on the outs with humanity, then gonna get more perspective, like that shot of him, crypto, looking at the Earth from Moon and stuff like
yeah.
that. Because that's what happened
Mm-hmm.
in that comic.
Mm-hmm.
Even Superman gets jaded sometimes, and he has to re get that love for humanity sometimes
Yep.
because he has to see the worst humanity all the time, and not only does he see it, he has to hear all of it and filter through that to hear the good.
But he also, yeah, that's a good point to make because it's again, it's not just the bad he hears; it's also the good in the world he hears as well. You
Yeah.
know, I hope they
So
also.
watching the Superman have to rebuild himself is going to be interesting because I think it's our first time really getting that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
other than that, there's the only major thing else I liked in here was
The first time
it's just kind of funny how jaded he was about it though. Well, you had Lex Luthor crying, and it'll cut to like it cut to like Superman. There's a laser in the background. He's like putting on his shoes, like really slowly, going to kiss Lois. And stuff. Like, man, I gotta go do the job
Oh.
again.
Hmm. Oh, there you go, audience. Another thing to like side with this versus Superman on. Like immediately, there's Superman and Lois are an item. Yay, yay. You know, no, none of the whole will they, won't they? Nope, they're a couple. Yay.
I forgot about that. That was a huge thing that used to happen all the time.
Gotcha. But Jake, you're
Hmm.
surprisingly silent throughout all this. Got
I
any
heard him a
intel?
little bit.
Gotcha.
Oh, I was telling Austin it's not the first time we've seen Superman like this. It's just probably the first time it will be done well because that's all BBS was really about: was Superman losing humanity and coming back. It was just terribly done.
No. Oh yeah, that's true. But in that sense, that Superman never really had humanity to me. Like his first thing was his dad telling you, "Man, maybe you shouldn't say human life. You know, fuck them guys." Like,
as as our Superman expert Philly Superman said, Fantix, um, Clark Kent was not in Man of Steel. Like that was one of his biggest complaints. You know, he lost a little bit of something where Superman was just there to be a god. There was no humanity. There was no like Clark Kent essence to him. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I don't see anything here that
yeah.
should be majorly complained upon. You know, no
I
controversy being made so far.
I like the dour tone because, like I said, I do think it's going to be Superman rebuilding himself up in a way. So I believe the official trailer is going to be like the hopeful one people are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But watching humanity like like have the boss like throw a can at Superman's head and stuff, that was great. That reminds me of, like Marvel humans. Because Marvel humans do not care about the heroes at all. You do one
Yeah,
bad thing, they will fight you in the street. They
yeah,
will die
yeah.
for that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some comments saying, well, why would somebody want to throw a can at Superman? Well, it's kind of like the same thing in general. Like you throw a can at somebody, it's not going to hurt them or kill them. Well, just a little hurt them, but
Yeah.
it's just going to more so take
It's
them off.
about showing my discomfort. I mean, wasn't a discomfort, but anger at the situation. Anger at
Yep,
you.
yep. I mean,
This
it
is the
kind of
only
reminds
time
me.
where, as a wrestling fan, people throwing stuff in the arena.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Man, what could Superman have done to possibly tick off a lot of people? I wonder.
Being an
Based on
immigrant.
Lex being here, I bet it's something like frame job.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Superman's like, "Man, after everything I've done for humanity, they believe this bullshit over me."
Yeah, it just takes that one bad day, man. Like that was one of my favorite episode moments from the Superman animated show, right? Where like Darkseid mind controlled Superman, had him turn against the world, and even though Superman came back to his senses and beat up Darkseid, you see everybody's different viewpoints. Like some saying that he should just go fly off back to his own planet. Some others saying Superman has saved the world hundreds of times. He deserves more than a second chance, this and that. So I
Yeah,
hope, yep, I hope they could, give a good adaptation of that in this. We
I
don't know
think
what.
Superman going through this shows his humanity better than most other versions of Superman done, other than like Superman and Lois in a way.
Oh,
Lex
Lex
Luthor is the
Luthor.
original Crash Out in comics. That is so true, though.
That was one of my favorite moments where like he was talking shit to someone. And he's like, "You don't have when you trash talk Lex Luthor." He started just beating the mess out of him in jail, and he beat that man to almost death in his cell. And he said the same thing is going to happen to Superman. I was like, bro,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not that serious. Calm
Oh,
down.
yeah. Oh, how do you guys feel about Lex's industry being called Luthor Corp?
I thought it was dumb, but whatever.
It's going to build up to Lex Corp. Just you wait, audience.
My problem with it saying that is that this is supposed to be a league and universe in the middle of it, so it should already be that. It is
Hmm.
not a starter company. He's been hating Superman for a long time at this point.
That's true. That's true. So, all right. Is there anything else here you guys want to digest?
Not really.
Uh,
No. Again, there's only so much you could ham out from a teaser audience. So.
I think it served its purpose. Everyone, most people liked it. At least at best, I mean, at least it got intrigue. At best, people
Hmm.
loved it. So it
Hmm.
served all purpose. I just hope it's good. Like I said, it's coming out on my birthday. I bought a Superman cape. I'm wearing it, everything. Like we're going full 9 rounds.
Dude, this has to be a great film. You know that, right? Like, for everybody who's like hesitant about James Gunn handling the DC universe, and if his first movie ends up being a flop, that's a dead universe. Then.
He did say if Superman fails, it will ruin the universe financially or something.
Yep.
Or well, no, what he said it will break WB's face in this situation.
Lol, I
Something
got
like
Yeah.
that.
booted off. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Not my
Uh,
wish.
Tony saying, I hope Leona Luthor makes an appearance.
Her name is
Okay.
Melina.
Lena. Okay. And he also makes another comment saying, I have one promise from James Gunn. Don't do Doomsday until year 15.
It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
problem.
Learn from the mistakes of Zack Snyder, James Gunn. Yeah, yeah. I sorry, Snyder fans, but Snyder made mistakes. All right, Mhm. But yeah.
To be
Oh.
fair, like
Hmm. No, go ahead.
Doomsday, I would say I don't doing Doomsday that early was a problem, but I think that he's like we still could have salvaged that if it didn't go
Hmm.
down the way he decided to go down.
Let's introduce Doomsday right as we're introducing Batman, right as we're introducing Wonder Woman, right as we're introducing all the other Justice League. And yet people are complaining, James Gunn, why are you putting so many superheroes in this first Superman movie? Well, Snyder did it in BVS. Oh, come on. So
And it's like
yeah.
it's the Justice League, bro. They don't have to do a lot in the film to be there. It's like if they're around, they should show up.
Hmm.
I can imagine finding out Superman's in the fight of his life as a team partner, and just being like, you know what, he got it. It's not my movie.
That's true. That's
I
true.
think that was the main thing people hated about Avengers. Like it was always an excuse why another hero didn't show up.
True. But all right then. I guess any final thoughts before we move on, guys?
No, we should move on.
Okay, hold on a sec. All right, let me pop up the next picture. All right, who wants to announce this one?
Karate Kid trailer, new one.
Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, the new one.
Yay! How do you guys?
Go ahead, this is your
Awesome. Yeah, we know how much of a big Karate Kid fan you are, which
Yes,
did it
I
make you
am the
feel?
biggest Karate Kid fan. I go in and I do the karate and I win the movie.
You're so hardcore. You stood by and watched the Jaden Smith movie for this.
That was actually the first one I ever saw. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, yeah, we know.
Don't judge
But
me.
alrighty.
We all have to start
So
somewhere.
exactly. Um, so Karate Kid, right? I'm wondering, like, because look, Netflix made this weird ass decision to like let's separate the final season of Cobra Kai into three separate parts. So right now, currently, audience, we don't have the last part of the Cobra Kai finale yet. So the fact that we're getting the follow up story to that in this trailer, you see Daniel's son, and I gotta ask, what happened to him, man? I mean, like, when you see Cobra Kai, he's a success. He has his own car dealership. He's well respected in his community, this and that. But I guess whatever, I guess what happened at the end of the second part of Cobra Kai's season finale, last season. Ooh, okay, okay. Things might not be looking so good for Daniel, I guess.
I understand, and people believe it's because Sam and them just went to college.
I guess. Oh, Tony saying, "Where's Quan?"
At your
There
mama's
was,
house.
there
He's
was
seen the
no.
show. Don't entertain that.
That reputation. What happened to Quan's gonna follow. It's gonna follow Daniel and Johnny for life. But
What happened to the Quan stays in the Quan. All right, let it go.
yep, yep. But yeah, I just hope Daniel's career didn't take a major dive because of what happened. But I guess we'll see.
Really, it
Uh,
shouldn't. Like none of that was happening to him. It wasn't his kid that did it to him. It wasn't his
hmm
weapon. I think he just took it
hmm
the hardest
Yeah.
because of the Miyagi situation. That he refused to accept this guy has faults.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True. Hey, that's his father figure at the end of the day. So, all right. As far as what we could get from this trailer, right? Okay, so they're going the emphasis about one tree but two branches, this and that. Like to find a way to justify, Jackie Chan being a kung fu master, but also needing to work with Daniel, who's all about the karate and that stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, because the
Tony's
karate, the 100% official Karate Kid needs kung fu.
yep, yep. Uh, yeah. Jackie Chan's own Daniel, who he taught all this kung fu to, all of a sudden he needs to learn karate. Okay,
Yeah, you
Tony's
remember
saying
that Jada Smith? That was crazy.
Tony's saying, I hope he stops glazing Mr. Miyagi at the end of the show. Aw.
No,
Yeah.
after meeting Han, he might glaze him harder. To be honest,
Wow.
he reminds me of Mr. Miyagi. Miyagi did the same thing for me.
Aw. Yeah. I still want I still this movie's being made not because they feel like it's a natural continuation after Cobra Kai. It's just gonna be a cash grab, this movie. So it is gonna be interesting to see what their reasoning is for justifying why Jackie Chan needs to go to Daniel for help in this situation with his pupil.
The moment Johnny was not going to be in this movie, I was like, okay, so this is some random other idea they decided to do. This has nothing to do with follow up Cobra Kai at this movie.
Exactly. Hey, it's a 3-year time skip at the end of Cobra Kai, so
Just long enough to wipe everything clean and not reference anything.
pretty much, pretty much. So in terms of some action scenes we got here, they kind of look like they up the effects when it comes to like the chase scene and the actions and the fights here. So yeah, there's that, I guess. Uh, Jake, do you have any thoughts on this, man? Come on, come on, join,
No, not really.
join Phanatic Doe, man, in
This is
this
your
discussion.
show.
I mean,
Yeah.
what may I say? It's there's nothing to really get from this for me. I mean, We talked about this before. Everything we said before about this kind of applies here. So whatever I said in the last episode about this, it applies here. I'll tell you.
You don't like the kid's fighting style?
It's cool.
Call him cool again.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to comment on Daniel's more roughed up appearance instead of the sleek business suit he used to always wear?
It's a movie. He's supposed to look roughed up. So you can feel emotional about it.
You're not going to talk about the potential return of the greatest finishing move of all time, the crane kick?
Yeah, but he perfected that move. You saw it in Cobra Kai.
No. That is what Jackie Chan needs Daniel-san's help for. He needs him to teach his pupil the crane kick. Yeah, there you go.
What he truly needs to learn is the quicksilver technique, right?
Silver cities that
Man
way.
can't see, he can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
Man can't breathe, he can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I forgot the last one.
If he can't stand, he can't fight.
Yeah, man can't stand, he can't fight. Extreme problems need extreme solutions or something. That's so crazy.
That's true. But man can't stand. Yep, there you go, Tony. So, alrighty then. You guys don't have any final thoughts? We can move on to the next one if you guys want.
It kind of looks meh. That's all I gotta say on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's going to kind of be hard to topple what Cobra Kai did because we've all been loving Cobra Kai for the most part. I mean, season 6 kind of showed a lot of the negative tropes in the teen drama that we kind of wish they could gloss over, but for the most part, it's been a great show series.
Which, as a joke, when you said that, I was tempted to just kick you.
Okay. All right. With that, let's move on to the next one, audience. I guess I might as well be seeing this. Nat Moore will be leaving the MCU.
Who is it?
Nat Moore is one of the apparently. Right as I was about to announce it, which left. But he was one of the higher ups in the MCU who was like in charge of their creative direction. Oh, let me wait for which. Okay.
I gotta just give it.
Sorry, I don't know why I keep getting kicked out unless Jake's kicking me out.
No, that was not me. No.
Gotcha.
People were I kept seeing an article about this. Well, people like Disney and Marvel are trying to move away from that I don't want to say the word woke, but the direction they were going in. And like the moment that article came out, this guy got fired.
Yeah. This guy did play a hand in okay, what this guy is mainly known for is a couple of quotes he said, specifically about Marvel being asked about bringing in big fans of Marvel Comics into the writing team, right?
Yes.
And to him, wait. Here's the thing. To him, that is a red flag, and he's the one who actually pushes to not have Marvel fans be part of the writing room.
Boo! Kick him out.
Yeah, which is what happened. So.
Yeah, I win, audience. I win. Fansix, I won.
There you go. Let me see if I can find those quotes. Let's see. I mean, the worst example I will have to say based on that sort of mentality will be like something like Secret Invasion, right? Where, yeah, that was as far removed from the original Secret Invasion in the worst way possible. That didn't just do a disservice to the Skrulls or the storyline, but it also took out a lot of other characters with it.
He says, I think it's important to be able to go, look, the source material is great, and I love it. And the comics work in the medium they were built in. But that's not a direct one-to-one translation to the best version of the movie. And sometimes it takes someone who's out of this culture to go, hey, I know you think it should be this, but maybe it should be this other thing. Well, that's what he said.
Funny you should say sometimes. It shouldn't be all the time.
It used to be sometimes. It's been becoming all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The red black quote you said, I just found it.
Yeah.
One thing I think is interesting, and specifically for writers, I would say a lot of times we're pitched writers who love Marvel. And to me, that's always a red flag because I go, oh, I don't want you to already have a pre-existing idea of what it is because you grew up with issue 15 and that's what you want to recreate. I want somebody who's hard on the material, who goes, what is this? I think there's a movie here, but maybe we should be looking at it in this way. The best example for me was Marcus and McFeely, who weren't comic guys coming up, but were like, wait, Captain America, this seems a bit weird. What if we kind of looked at it this way? He continues. And they weren't married to anything. Nothing was. You know, there was nothing.
Wait, who did they?
Say that again?
What name did they use?
Marcus and McFeely. I don't know if they were for Captain America, Steve Rogers, or Sam Wilson. I don't know which one they were doing. But, yeah. We can look it up.
Tony's saying, let fans take charge of the IP. Heads, you get Sonic Mania. Talk, you get 343 Industries. There you go. But to go on this quote about like, okay, you started off on issue 15 and kind of want the story to be based on that. To that, I'll say, if you're a fan of a comic.
I'm sorry. The example, the writers that he listed are the reasons you got Captain America, the First Avenger, the Winter Soldier, and Thor: The Dark World, and Avengers: Infinity War.
That's not fair to say the writers are the reason for that, because these are the same people that well, you said, did they do Endgame?
I'm looking at it. They did. Oh, I have their whole list. They did Captain America: The First Avenger, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and they are doing Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Oh, so these are the guys who didn't know how time travel worked. Okay, these are the ones who wrote how it worked in the movie and then went against that for Captain America.
I thought it was a miscommunication between director and screenwriter. I thought it was both.
What?
Was it? I thought they was stated. I could be misremembering. I thought it was that the director did something different.
The director said Steve went back in time. He just stayed. His last thought was the 70s, and he just stayed there. And then he just found another way back to the timeline. These dudes are the ones who said, "Oh, he went back to the 70s of our timeline and did all that stuff and just aged regularly."
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing that they wrote in Hulk, the sequels that you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they have a. Well, let me see. We have.
No, I wasn't trying to discredit them. I was just trying to make sure that's what it was.
Okay.
But a lot of the stuff that they wrote or hyped up specifically that was great for like Captain America, the Winter Soldier stuff, was rewritten by the Russo brothers. They talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff like in Endgame, Infinity War, the Russo brothers rewrite a lot of stuff, and they brought in James Gunn to rewrite a lot of the Guardian stuff. Even then, they didn't have a personal say over him. Like they brought him in for the Guardian stuff, but they had the final say about Peter Quill messing up the Thanos scene, stuff like that.
Right.
So it's hard to say, oh, this is a success just because of these guys, because we don't know exactly what they wrote. But we do know what the Russo specifically said they wrote, which is usually the best scenes of the movie for a lot of people.
Gotcha. But yeah, at this moment, like Marvel wants. We already had this discussions about this. Like it wasn't that long ago where there was a topic about like Marvel wanting to actually get actual fans to be part of these discussion processes when it comes to their future projects, right? So I know it should be a big deal, right?
Marvel Studios hit me up for the Alpha Flight project.
Yep. Again, fan service. Come on, that shouldn't be a taboo thing, I mean, look at Deadpool 3. That was littered with a lot of fan service moments in that movie. Stuff that only diehard fans would know the behind the scenes about, And look what the result was, right?
Yeah, but so it worked. You could work for one movie. I mean, it'll work for every film. I'm trying to go all in on it.
Not every film, but at least it's worth investing that mindset on,
What I would argue is that when it comes to it, I don't think the whole writer room should be comic book fans, because
No. There should be a balance.
Fans, everything that everyone has their own favorite comics, and usually that contradicts with people. Yep. Like if I say my favorite Spider-Man is Nick Spencer, so I want to write like Nick Spencer Spider-Man, and then you can say yours like Jay Krasinski or something, and those are two different Spider-Man. I do think
I
just
agree.
put up the room, have some writers who are fans, and have some regular writers, and then come to a happy medium.
Yeah, we need that balance, or else it's not gonna work. Yeah, you need that balance. You can't just have one or the other, because if you have, say, non-comic fans, you get shit. But if you only get just comic book fans, that's gonna be a mess, you know.
I think that was somebody even posted a video once about like a lot of people, like directors or writers, when they do interview sessions, right? They outwardly admit we don't really read the comics or we don't really.
They always say it.
Yeah, that it was a lot of people. So many people were saying that it became a whole montage video about that.
Yeah. The only ones we do for a fact read the comics were the Russo brothers,
Mhm.
who literally had a walkthrough talking about some of the comics they were
Gotcha.
in great depth. So either they were on Wikipedia all that day, or they read the comics.
Better example, John Berthal, Punisher. Like the
Yeah,
second
a lot of actors read the comics. It doesn't matter because they're not the writers don't let them do comic book stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it just shows the dedication they have for that source material, you know? Like I still remember when what's it called? Wyatt Russell, when he took on the role of John Walker, he was literally told not to read any of the comics of John Walker because they were going to be doing their own thing with him, you know?
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a shame, but what can you say?
So the actress
Daredevil
who
guy
played
wrote it,
Cassandra Nova,
Mhm.
she was like she went on the Marvel wiki, as you do sometimes, the Marvel fandom wiki, and looked up her character, as you do. And if I can remember, I think she brought up that like, oh, should I like read the whole, like all the comics, because I read about I read her wiki page, and the director was like, yeah, no, that's basically all you need. That's basically the character. And I was like, I mean, that was Cassandra Nova, so yeah.
Yeah.
I just needed her to be a little bit more chaotic evil in a comedic side, and that would have been good.
Gotcha.
Drew Goddard, the guy who did Daredevil, he read the comics.
Mhm.
He wanted to make sure whatever run he decided to pull from, he was knowledgeable enough. Him and the main Daredevil actor were
Charlie
knowledgeable
Cox.
Charlie
to pull
Cox.
off. Yeah,
Mhm.
was knowledgeable enough to pull off some of that stuff.
No.
So he had him read the same comic books he read, and if they thought a line fit better, either one of them they would just go with it.
Mhm. Good. Good. You know.
Yeah, sometimes it work out, sometimes it don't. Like the what was the guy's name? I don't remember his name, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
there was like two cases where I know people they say they read the comic, and then the movie turned out really bad.
Yeah, the only most egregious example I can think of in recent mind again is going back to Secret Invasion, right? You know,
Fan forced it. That guy actually read the comics,
Uh,
but
mhm.
we know at least we know then it was studio interference that ruined his thing.
Oh yeah,
And
I hate when that happens. Don't y'all hate when that happens?
yeah, his
Yep.
original idea was great. Like he was gonna have instead of them just showing up that empty planet, they're gonna
With
show up on a planet being eaten by Galactus, and
yep.
their power is gonna come from the power of cosmic radiating off of Galactus.
Oh wow.
And now also how he's gonna finally like take notice of Earth will lead into the second film or second or third film when he finally got there.
Oh man, dude, he must have like the most insane like commentary if you ever got a chance to watch Fan Force Stick with him, you know? Like, hey, this scene right here, this was mine. This scene right here, this is where I got fired. This scene right here is where I came to work drunk, this and that. You know? Yeah. But going forward, how do you guys feel about this news with Nat Moore? You think it's going to be a benefit to the MCU going forward that he's not going to be part of this anymore?
We will have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Them embracing their comic book roots more and more, I don't think is a problem in general because that's something I think most people want it anyway in a natural sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like we have really moved away from the campy side of comics and shit, for a while now. So I don't mind it coming back in a unique sense.
I don't think it has the problem has anything to do with the writers being fans or not. I think it's just the writers themselves. So if you just get good writers, I think it's kind of irrelevant. So I don't know what specifically his decisions were and what they weren't. But If the next guy brings in better writers, I don't really care. So.
Yes. So, all right then. I guess with that, you guys will move on. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Austin, this is you, man.
Oh yeah. So the Nova TV show, Annihulus is hinted to be the villain. We learned about the TV show, I want to say a few weeks ago, but Nova is
Yep.
always in the talks. We've been talking about this for years. How Nova should have been the first thing they did after Infinity War,
Mm-hmm.
because you had the people don't know the story of Richard Rider Nova is that the Nova Corps is destroyed, which it was in Infinity War, and he has to basically rebuild it from the ground up for preparation, basically for the annihilation wave that happens shortly after.
All right, right.
So they're kind of doing that faithfully, but there's a lot of stuff in this book they can't do. I don't know if you remember the Annihilation Wave. If they actually go like Annihilation Quest route,
Yeah.
Annihilation Wave had like Galactus tied up to a machine and all the other crazy stuff. They just won't do.
Right, right.
So I don't really. Annihilus is one of my favorite villains. So I don't really like him showing up here first.
Mm-hmm.
Because the idea that someone else broke into like the negative zone to unleash this dude is kind of
Yeah.
crazy to me. So usually the Fantastic Four, and that's how he usually gets out, which makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So the idea that he just accidentally get released, and this show is supposed to be like a detective space show, kind of like Green Lantern in a way.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
Okay.
you can't do that and have a knowledge to be the villain. I don't, like, you have to change a lot about knowledge for like this to work in that sense.
Well, you get to be a villain in that sort of scenario anyway. Some outer space alien noir villain.
You want me to be real? I would have did I probably would have took some villain from the Howard Duck like books.
Uh-huh.
I remember Howard Duck was a space detective for a while, for a good while.
Yep. Yep.
So I would have had Howard Duck and him like be like a duo thing do as the show goes on,
Mm-hmm.
and probably do that. I can't really think of a space villain though that would do unless you want to like introduce what's his name, some of the Shi'ar and stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, it's hard to know how much Marvel is willing to use to be able to pick a villain.
Right, right, right.
So they're already doing Annihilus and potentially Annihilation Wave, which was the biggest space event Marvel ever had outside of Thanos snapping the people out of existence. I don't
Yeah.
know how you go up from that if that's what it is.
Simple. You don't do the annihilation way, man. You just give a glimpse of that. You know?
Yeah, the only other thing I remember, other than the Annihilation book itself, Richard Rider, I believe, did get stuck in the negative zone for a while. So maybe he got stuck and he broke out, and that's how he got out.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to close it for the full waves to get through. I don't know. I have faith in them, if depending on the writer. Because
Yeah.
realistically, I don't think it should be hard to pull off. Just don't
Mm-hmm.
try to be Green Lantern. You should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake, you played the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Anyone who played that game, I think they should bring back Nova Corps more like in that sense,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
have the grunt policemen, but the higher up you go, you have like the ones with the jetpacks, and then you have like the actual Nova Corps,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I remember correctly, they have to rebuild the Supreme Intelligence anyway.
Oh, that's true.
So I feel
Might
like
I
you will be up into that.
might I suggest going organic this time, Kree Empire? Don't go mechanical or computerized AI. Go
Uh,
organic.
Please don't do two Reed Richards again, please.
Nah, I would love to do that. That was so horrific, but gruesome. But damn, that two Reed Richards were enough to bring back the Kree Supreme Intelligence audience. You know.
And that's also another thing I'm concerned about. Cause you just reminded me. People don't know Nova's powers work in a sense of there's one giant energy source. So the
Uh-huh.
more Nova core people they are who's using this power, the weaker they are.
Oh wow.
So say like if there's 1,000 of them, all those 1,000 people might have the power of like one regular cop. But the more die off, the power is split between less and less people. That's why Richard
Mhm.
as Nova Pride was so strong, because he was the only one left. He had all the power in the Nova Force.
Damn.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's such a weird situation for a space show,
Mhm.
because you'll have to kill them all off again if you want Richard to be his strongest, or you'll have to never let them rise up to a good point in the universe, so he can
Yeah.
also always be strong enough to help.
Hey, I think as a Richard Rider fan, you're gonna be lucky enough to just get one Nova. So I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
Marvel wants to stick
So
with.
what I would do, in my personal opinion, Curtis, I think they should fuse the Sam plot and the Richard Rider plot.
Hmm.
Remember, when Sam's story first started, we all thought Richard was his dad anyway. So I would just do that and have him go missing after Xandar got attacked.
Yeah.
Because all Novacore people think all the whole Novacore dead anyway. And I'll have Sam going dead eventually go find Richard Rider in that sense.
Hmm.
Instead of his bum ass father.
I think that will be. I think people will accept that. So.
Yeah. I think that's the
Yeah.
best way to tie them both in without disrespecting either one's story.
Hmm.
And I think it's and with Sam, remember he already had his own unique power source helmet anyway. So you
Uh
don't
huh.
have to question why he's strong with Richard around and stuff like that.
Hmm.
If you just do them two for a while.
There you go. And I can save on the budget too. So benefits all, audience. Benefits
Also,
all.
this might mean Sam is Alexander comes back in the comics, and I think a lot of people like that. This guy ain't been around. He's the only champion that hasn't been seen since Champion ended.
Yeah, it's almost like Marvel looked at Sam and saying, "Yeah, we don't see an MCU future in your in the foreseeable future, Sam. So bye bye." You know.
That's it. I would kill for like a Nova Force book. The problem,
Hmm.
but that's always been the problem with Marvel Space. Green Lantern kind of did everything, so it's not like you can't really do a lot in Marvel Space without ripping off Green Lantern with a police force. So I get it to the degree, but like, come on, man, someone got to think of something.
Yeah, yeah. You know. So all right. Hope hope for the best of the future, audience. So all right. Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
I want to see a Annihilus eat a person that's not the Human Torch.
Have him eat a scroll. Come
There you go.
on, come on. You know. Hey, I'm pretty sure Scroll's texture is pretty exotic. You know, it probably tastes. You could probably make it taste like any other animal. You know. So
If
yeah.
Annihilus and his crew attack Earth but only eat scrolls, will you call that pest control?
Yes. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. I had to put it that way. But audience, like when you make a discussion about, okay, we're only going to be bringing in like 1,000 scroll refugees to help out. But then you find out that those same refugees ended up smuggling 1 million over to your planet. You're like, oh, we did not agree to this. What the heck? You know? So, but all right. I guess with that, we can move on to the next topic, audience.
Woo.
Yeah, Austin, you gonna stick around for this?
No, because I can already hear them coming in here.
Okay,
Hey
okay.
Jake, it's you and Cryptid's
But
turn.
I will get my thoughts real quick though about the Hulk situation, because a lot of Hulk fans were mad.
Yeah, yeah,
They're like another
understandable.
what if about a Hulk, and you just ripped off Pacific Rim and Godzilla. That was it. And then they might have shown Devil Hulk at the end with Bruce.
Yeah.
But like they didn't bring it up. It's like that'll be a big deal for people. Like a Hulk, that's a huge deal.
I'm just kind of
Devil
like a
Hulk,
little
people
sad.
don't know, was the Hulk from Immortal Hulk,
Hmm.
and that's a huge thing for people.
Wow. Man,
uh,
I felt more bad for Hulk fans out there because like this felt like Mark Ruffalo. Oh, it wasn't Mark Ruffalo voicing this, but it felt like Bruce Banner being how Bruce Banner would be from the comics. You know,
yeah,
still
I will have to give
haunted
them.
by the Hulk.
I think they changed. I don't know for sure. I feel like they changed the writers. I won't know till like a couple episodes in, but I was like, this is not written like season 2 was.
Yeah.
In terms of dialogue, it's like there's a lot less like forced humor in this
Yep.
episode. It's like
Oh,
they're just straight up.
oh no, they saved that all for Red Guardian.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, God.
Before I leave, other thing I will say, I really appreciated Sam first thing like, no, I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. Okay, it's a
Uh,
small moment, but it's really such a human moment for Sam. Where like I
yeah,
know he's
yeah,
a giant monster and stuff, but that used to be a man. There used to be a guy in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
You
want to
know.
try at least one time to reach that man.
Yeah, I wonder where all that compassion was to his fellow soldier John Walker, right?
He
Right?
did.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. Don't rewrite history. He absolutely showed him compassion, and then John was like, "Oh, you're after the shield," and that's when they fought. No, he got
No,
paranoid.
no, you came up to him like you of all people who should have understood what John did, he had to do what he had to do. It should have been another
Absolutely.
soldier.
He said that. He said, "I get what you were doing, and you could probably get pardoned for it. Just like calm
Mhm.
down, hand over the shield, and we'll be good."
Okay.
And then John,
Okay. John.
"Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
John. You were right. We should have worked together earlier. All right. I'm sorry I dissed you the way I did.
he
Yeah.
was one
Come
about
on.
his
Come on, Sam. Come on. Say you're
one
sorry
about his
too, man.
He absolutely tried to. I just watched the scene today. He absolutely asked him, like, "Hey, it's cool. No one's blaming you. No one's mad at you." That's literally
Mhm.
what he says.
And also, John, I am sorry I dissed you the way I did when we first met. All right. All right. That was nothing
He was
personal.
talking
All
about on his knees, bro. That's a completely different scenario.
right.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
to
All
be
right.
fair, he did go out his way to be like, yeah, and I want Steve's sidekick with me.
Yeah.
Just one slip of the tongue, Austin.
Okay,
All
but
right.
if he's allowed to do that, then Sam's allowed to get his jab in. I don't see why that's any different.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if they owe him an apology, it'll be Bucky.
Yeah. Bucky, come on, dude.
No, yeah, Bucky went way too hard on this guy for like no reason for his point
Mhm.
of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
all
yeah,
right. It was nice having you, Austin. So, all
thank
right.
you. Which I
Well,
will
Okay.
be listening. I'm just gonna have my headphones in as I help my cousin do all the other stuff.
Gotcha.
okay, don't forget to play some comments though while we're talking.
Okay,
Cool.
okay.
Okay. But all right then.
Bye.
With that, let's talk about this. Right from the beginning of this episode, I was really worried because it followed a same a same criticism I had when it came to Captain Carter, right? Where it literally is just recycling a scene, but just putting Sam Wilson in. And the scene I'm
I want
referring
to bring
to,
this up. What is this? Oh, what if of? Like, when does this take place? It can't be. They already fought Ultron, according to what the
yeah,
what if says. So it can't be Winter Soldier. But Bruce Banner's out of shape, which is impossible because he's always staying in shape, so he can keep
yeah,
his stress level down. So I don't
yeah.
understand. That doesn't
It,
make any sense to me.
it was weird. Basically, audience, this whole episode started with like them reenacting the whole. You remember when Sam Wilson was jogging with Steve, and Steve would always lap John. In this case, it was Sam Wilson and Bruce Banner jogging, and you had Sam Wilson lapping Bruce Banner.
Which isn't
Um,
impossible. It's just the idea that Banner doesn't stay in shape, which is fucking ludicrous. Because that was the first thing you learned about him in this universe. So,
yeah, it was kind of weird, and it just kind of also makes me trying to figure out, okay, what scenario would you have where these two would be interacting, really? You know?
I suppose. I mean, you could still do
Yeah.
the exercising. You just wouldn't be out of shape doing it. You just be okay with it.
Okay, yeah. Bruce Banner, of all the places you could be exercising, you had to be exercising in the one spot Sam Wilson's exercising at.
Well, he has to be close to Thunderbolt Ross in case he wants to get attacked or something.
I guess. And in terms of the timeline where this is taking place, like we also got to remember we did see some glimpses of okay, so audience, what happened was because of the friendship Bruce Banner and Sam Wilson had, that was enough to make Bruce Banner say, "Okay, I gotta try another experiment so that I won't show my monster side to Sam Wilson," which is how he ended up creating basically a Godzilla Hulk who could shoot gamma atomic breath and everything. So yeah, we did see it was flash forwarding into the future where you did see in response the Avengers created robots for each of the members of the Avengers of that time. So you saw that Steve Rogers was still the Captain America of that time, till A lot of them ended up dying. The war kept continuing. The Gamma Wars is what they will call it. And yeah, Sam Wilson and in this scenario still became Captain America after Steve died.
Which also is kind of a flimsy premise to me because I don't believe Iron Man can have that many suits ready, giant ass kaiju fighting suits ready in the span it would take Hulk to destroy the world. But whatever.
I know. I know. When you get to the point where basically everybody is a Megazord at this point, like you gotta brace yourself for what's happening. You know, a lot of cheesiness, a lot of okay, I really have to shut my brain off for these couple of scenes. You know, so yeah, audience. Also, we got like a lot of people from the Disney Plus series in this episode. I didn't even know who these people were until I saw their armor. You had Moon Knight popping up, who had his own giant robot armor, Gundam. You had Shang-Chi popping up with his own Gundam armor. Who else? Red Guardian pops up. Yeah, he's still being annoying as always. God dang. I feel like Red Guardian's destined to be the next Korg, audience.
He already is.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to his big moment in Thunderbolts, you know, because we're all assuming he's gonna be dying in that movie. I think they want to kind of make all these jokes with him, so you know, when he does die, people will be like, "Oh my God, he's dead! Oh, we're all sad." But in my scenario, when I saw Korg die in Love and Thunder, I wasn't sad. I wanted to stand up and clap. Oh, thank God he's dead. I don't have to listen to this guy talk anymore, you know? Yeah.
I was gonna say I've always felt like, and I saw a clip of the next episode, and I already see my problem with it. I always thought the thing about Red Guardian was that he was serious, and then because people just kind of forgot about him, he became a joke. I thought that's what Black Widow was saying, but now they're saying like he's just always been a joke, and I'm like, that's not. That doesn't. Sound
like
right.
you saw like the first 20 minutes of Black Widow, like he was very confident in his profession, you know, like he was professional in his mission. He definitely had the physical capabilities of backing up his partner and both the kids, this and that.
Yeah, just felt like years of just being a forgotten soldier, and Captain America being like the bigger captain was just got to him. Like, so just that's what it felt like. So
yeah,
but no.
It is what it is, you know. So yeah, I mean, long story short, audience, all the Avengers Gundams you see in here, they all basically become Megazord and fuse together to fight off the other Godzilla kaiju, the other Hulk kaijus. Yeah, you don't really need to talk much about what happens at the end. Banner becomes the new head Godzilla Hulk, and they all go in their island, and that's how the story ends. Yeah. Again, it's just kind of like a leap of logic you have to make to say that like a friendship between Bruce Banner and Sam Wilson results in Godzilla Hulks roaming around the Earth.
Like I said, these don't feel like what ifs; they feel like Elseworlds, and I don't think the writers understand the difference. But
yeah.
In terms of its own story, I liked it. I just didn't like it as a what if, but like as like its own story, I thought it was kind of cool.
It's something you would see like on a Saturday morning cartoon, you know, like a really a made for kids TV block,
which is the joke that they do, by the way, the episode, by the way.
Yeah,
they make that joke.
Yeah.
I think Sam really shines in this episode. It really kind of shows the difference between him and Steve. I feel like Steve is more of like the action man's Captain America. Like, he cares about people, but it's more like he's just trying to get to the point. Sam takes the time to pause and like get to know the person he's going up against, which we saw that in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's I know Steve is an empathetic person. I would argue Sam is more empathetic about individuals, while Steve is more empathetic about the overall problem, I feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what this episode highlights. I did like seeing a serious Bruce Banner again, who wasn't like a fucking joke of a
Who
character.
wasn't Mark Ruffalo acting as Mark Ruffalo? You
Yeah,
know?
so I really like that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that's one of the things that Ang Lee and Ed Norton, well, Ang Lee's Hulk and Ed Norton got correct about the Bruce Banner. Like, he's supposed to be on edge. He's supposed to be like, at any second I could be the Hulk, so I got to be careful. He's not really supposed to be the pencil pusher nerd type character that you're like, oh, that's not Bruce Banner. So we did get to see that, and that was pretty cool.
Cool.
I just think I like everybody but Red Guardian on this team. So
that's true.
was I the one who looked at Bucky for a solid minute and just didn't know that was Bucky? I was like, who is that?
Jake, I felt the same way about Shang-Chi, and I felt the same way about Moon Knight. I'm like, wait, who are these people? I don't know. Even that one person from Wakanda. Wait, who is that? Is that Shuri? Like a lot of these characters haven't popped up in an MCU project in a while, and yeah, it's kind of a chore to try and remember who these people are, you know?
Yeah.
So, also one thing I wanted to add, I know people were making like a commotion about, Sam Wilson not being in Captain America in a What If episode. The writers responded to that by saying they didn't want to do anything with Sam Wilson that would conflict with what his moves or skill sets will be now that he's Captain America in the movies, right? Because his movie hasn't come out yet. Yeah. Here, I did pay attention to the fact that they made sure not to have Sam Wilson actually have his wings or fly, or all he was doing was just operating a robot. That was it.
Yeah.
So he still had the Captain America costume, but that was just about it.
Yeah.
So,
but
okay.
I think it was a solid enough episode. I didn't really have it. I didn't really have, other than it just being a What If episode. This could have just been like a spinoff they did or something.
Gotcha. So Also, we might as well talk about the episode 2.
I have nothing to say. I didn't watch it. So
okay. Oh boy, I was in for a treat with this one because you guys know how I feel about this specific group of people. Popping up, but all right. Yep. This is what if Agatha joined Hollywood. So this was back during Howard Stark's prime time in the 50s or 60s or whatever, right? And apparently Agatha decided to go into show business in Hollywood. And, it just so happens that Howard Stark was getting more invested into Hollywood movies and cinemas, thinking like they were the next wave for the future, which actually kind of fits in line with what happened in Agent Carter's TV show, where you did see Howard Stark attempting to go into that business, So, and we also got Jarvis back, the original Jarvis audience, the Englishman. So that was cool. So apparently Agatha's whole scheme is she needs help in order to unleash the celestial that's inside Earth, because apparently she knows about that, and she's secretly been going after all the Eternals and taking away their powers and imprisoning them. So her next course of action was to make a movie with Howard Stark, which somehow would convince Howard Stark that they need to bring in. I'm not even gonna bother remembering this guy's name. You guys know the one Eternal I hate the most.
So I don't know which one you hate the most.
The one I hate the most, the one who said, "Yeah, maybe Earth should die."
That's like half of them.
The what's his name? The actor, the Bollywood actor guy.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
What? I don't even want to remember his name. But anyway,
Kingo.
Okay, Kingo. There you go. So somehow Agatha's plan to join Hollywood with Howard Stark was a domino effect that would have them look to recruit Congo to their movie.
I just said his name was Kingo.
Kingo. I Hey, I don't care to remember to make any space in my head for his name, Jake. You know how I feel about the Celestials, and you know how I feel about the Eternals. So yeah. All right. So they do their thing. Long story short, they were able to. Congo was able to help Agatha to create a spell that would bring that celestial from Earth to the surface so that Agatha could absorb its power. But in doing so, the celestial uh, learned through Congo about what they plan to do.
What was he doing?
He was helping Agatha, I guess, with some inscriptions or whatever. Oh wait, no, Agatha needed his powers. That's what it was. Because she was taking all the powers of the rest of the Eternals, and the only one left was Congo.
Kingo. I'm literally saying you don't have to. I'm saying his name. It's just an I.
All right, Congo. I'll call him Congo. He needs to earn the right for me to pronounce his name properly. All right,
his real name.
Congo.
What are you guys talking about?
People in the universe and call Kingo.
Congo. Okay. Congo, Kingo. Okay, whichever. All right.
What
So
are
we're
you guys
talking about the
talking
second.
about?
We're talking about the second episode of Marvel's What If, which
Okay,
it involves.
because I'm completely lost on what you guys were talking about.
Okay. Long story short, Agatha and Congo are teaming up to take the power of the Celestial that's within Earth.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I was very confused.
There's no reason for Kingo to ever do that because Kingo is loyal. Kingo, as long as the rest of the Eternals are loyal to Arishem. The whole point of that movie was that they couldn't imagine going against their own gods. That sounds very stupid.
Who was Arish? What?
Arishem is their
was
god.
the Celestial.
That's the one that they worship. The one that tells them, "Hey, blow up the planet when I tell you to."
Okay, because that character makes an appearance too because he was listening through Congo. He is now aware of the plan to take the power that Agatha is going to infuse herself with the Eternal. So that Celestial comes all the way to Earth, right? And just in time for Agatha to finally fuse with the Eternal, and she basically becomes a cosmic goddess. I'll admit her design looks pretty epic as hell. Think of she almost looks like a star-touched elf from Dragon Prince audience. That's how dope she looks. And she's the size of an Eternal here.
Eternal. I'm assuming you mean Celestial?
Oh, Celestial.
You
Damn.
absolutely know what a Celestial is. You know what that is.
I want these guys to be removed from my head in general, Jake. So. Okay. So, all right. The Celestial comes by. He's like looking at Agatha, like, "Oh, okay, you think you're all that? Okay, your Earth is still gonna be doomed. I'm still gonna have to destroy it." And you know what? What Agatha did? She did what I dream of doing: punch that Celestial right in the face.
Okay, it's a baby Celestial versus a Celestial that's lived longer, and she hurting
who also has the power of all the other Eternals, and who also has witchcraft on her side.
All the other Eternals are a fraction of the Celestial's power.
Mm-hmm.
It's a baby. You're telling me a baby Celestial in 9 Eternals, which is barely like 1% of the Celestial's power, is enough to harm a Celestial that has lived as long as the universe itself. Is that what we're getting at?
Hey, you see, a Celestial doesn't have the creativity of an Earthling, Jake. All right. Yeah, you see, the Celestials are too busy looking down on Earth, like the arrogant sons of guns they are.
I don't know what you're
like.
And if they're in the Earth X universe, they're impregnating these planets.
Damn. Oh, Celestials, you guys are a bunch of snobs. Earth did a lot for the universe, and you guys think that they deserve to be destroyed.
It's like the next planet over might do the same amount. That's the whole point.
No. They saved half the universe, Jake. They saved half the universe.
You see how they did the same thing before Earth showed up? They're the reason Earth exists, and because of that, Earth saves the universe. Okay, there's another planet that could be made that could do the same thing. That's the whole moral question of the movie. That's
Okay,
what
they
I'm
don't have the. Okay, so that other Earth doesn't have the resume that our Earth has.
Yeah,
Uh,
we didn't have it either. We got it eventually. That's what I'm saying. I'm
gotcha.
not telling you.
But yeah, long story short, we get a fight between Cosmic Agatha and the Celestial. And at first, it looks like the Celestial is going to win this fight up until Agatha, yeah, reveals, hey, you don't have any imagination. I have like some witchcraft on my side along with all this godlike power. So she forms like an insignia around his back, and now she absorbs that Celestial. So she has the power of two Celestials, audience.
This episode will watch. I mean, based on how you're describing it, if I watch it, it might be okay. But based on what you're
Yeah.
describing, this episode's
I'm like, okay, you know what, Agatha, you get some bonus points from me for not just for punching that Celestial right in the face, but also making such beeps out of them and taking their power. Yay, yay! Don't mess with Earth Celestials, all right? You know,
You can mess with every other planet that's done just as good with the universe, but Earth, no, that's off the table.
hey, you know my philosophy, Jake. Earth should never be destroyed under any sort of plan. You know.
People believe that, but the reason they believe if they didn't have their beliefs, Earth would never exist to begin with. You have the Celestials to thank for the land you walk on. I don't know what you have such a hate voter for them. Like,
Ooh, okay. And I have to also thank them for blowing up the land I walk on. Nope, nope, nope. We're here to stay, Celestials. All right, we're here to stay. We're here to stay. You know, we're out there saving the multiverse, this and that. So
from ourselves. Remember, the multiverse is only in danger because Kang, who's from Earth, is that what you're suggesting?
hey, that was a separate case. Or if anything, that shows the potential of Earth. If an Earthling is able to have that much effect on the globe, on the multiverse,
Early Kang would
Oh,
never be a problem.
oh, Jake, I don't see a scroll or a Kree effect in the multiverse. Do you?
Yeah, because the Kree are assholes.
Yep,
Also, the
yep.
effect of the multiverse, which is good.
All right. My bottom line is, so yeah, Agatha in this what if universe is a cosmic goddess, and she decides, you know what? Let's continue making movies with Congo. Yay.
By the way, I just want you to realize you told me that Kingo's the only reason she got the last eternal power, and you still call him Congo.
He doesn't earn the right to be called whatever his name is. I'll
He
call him Congo.
actively betrayed his god in this timeline. He absolutely does.
Nah. He still wanted Earth to be destroyed. Nope.
Not in this timeline.
Yeah, after convincing from Agatha.
What, say it again?
After convincing from Agatha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If someone told you, hey, betray your whole religion you were raised your whole life to believe in, you take a minute too. You'd be like, oh, I don't know. That's not right.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that's how the episode ends. Again, I really need to you really need to think about, okay, how did this lead into this, right? Because remember, this whole scenario with the Celestials and coming in early was all done because Agatha decided to go into Hollywood early on.
Yes.
So,
As a what if premise, it's a lot better than the last one. I would say that.
I guess. But alright then. Yeah, that's really it. We won't be doing any more what if topics until we get to the finale of this series. So,
Yeah.
alright.
They're doing one a day, so they're going to do one tomorrow.
Yeah, gotcha. Alright then. Let's move on to the next topic, audience.
Okay. Let's try to speed through these two, so because we have like 4 comics.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got like
Okay,
several comics.
Okay, let's hold off on that ultimate. Let's get that ultimate topic in that case. So,
Okay.
all right. Oh wait, we're still doing Creature Commando.
Oh, okay.
Talk about Creature
Okay.
Commando, and then we'll just skip on
Okay.
to the reviews.
Yeah, Creature Commando. You guys know I've been enjoying this series. It was a surprise enjoyment for me. This episode though, wasn't really doing it for me. So you do get some reveals in terms of plots down the line. You find out that the reason why Cersei was attacking the princess and the creature commandos was because apparently she has a future vision where it turns out this princess, the one that Colonel Flag Senior is hooking up with, yeah, she's actually going to be responsible for unleashing Doomsday. Well, not Doomsday the character, but basically Armageddon, all over the world, which will kill all the superheroes. And you see Gorilla Grodd by her side. So there's more happening here than we're led to believe. So Amanda Waller sees this vision with Cersei, and she gives the order that, uh, the team is going to have to go and kill the princess now. You know, so yay! And then of course you see Frankenstein coming in. He apparently paid one of the military people to gain access to this facility so he could find his bride. And he thinks that there's something going on between the bride and Colonel Flag, so he goes to attack Colonel Flag. Which, god dang, like there's nothing going on between the two, but just literally Flag talking to her is enough to make Frankenstein want to kill him. Which, god dang,
Someone
that
needs
makes it.
therapy.
I know, right? Yeah, that makes you kind of realize that over the course of their existence, between the bride's existence, she must not have had any sort of relationships in her lifetime, because any male relationship she had, Frankenstein would be there to kill them. Damn, damn, you know. So, but long story short, Flag and Frankenstein work things out, and now both of them are going to go to try and protect the princess, while the rest of the team is going to go and kill the princess. But also another thing to take note from this episode is it's a Weasel backstory episode too. So yeah, it's not so much as a backstory. It just tells about what happened with the situation of those kids he supposedly killed. So apparently he just popped up at this children's playground, and a lot of these kids are kindergarten age, this and that, and they find Weasel, and they immediately all find him adorable and cute and want to play with him.
Because that's how
What?
kids are, yes.
Yeah, what reasonable kid would think this is something you should be playing with? This picture witch, you know?
Lots of kids.
Ugh, lots of
I
kids, not
probably
all
would have
kids.
as a kid.
Not all kids, which, because everybody immediately just wanted to play with this kid. And I know this. I know James Gunn is trying to make it seem like, okay, this is going to be a sad moment, a big misunderstanding with what happens, because apparently one guy witnesses the kids with this monster, and he does what I think any sane adult should do, and immediately call the police because he's scared for these children's lives. You know. So he calls the police, but he has to take matters in his own hands. So he follows them into the building. He tries to kill the creature, which ends up hitting the propane tank and just blowing up the building instead. And yeah, that's how the kids end up dying. You know.
So it
Again,
wasn't even his fault. It was more of the fault of the dad, I think. You were right on that.
it, wa-
It was the dad,
it was
right?
it was a neighbor.
It was the
He was just
neighbor. It was more
yeah.
of the neighbor thing, and the only reason why they scapegoated Weasel is because he looks different than everyone.
He looks like a frightening creature. I mean, again, like I think that reaction that guy had would be a reaction any of us would have. If
You
you
know, you
see
can make a
kids.
racism allegory here if you wanted to, or like any marginalized community allegory
Well,
here.
is it an allegory when this Weasel character is an animal?
Cryptid.
It's like
A lot
it's
of
like it's
people, especially
like
a certain demographic of people, think anyone who doesn't look or act exactly like them are animals.
Which are we comparing a black person to a weasel? Is that what we're doing right now?
yeah.
No,
Wow.
not just like in general, like
Like
anyone.
keep in
Yeah,
mind
but I'm saying, like,
this team is made of people who specifically are not categorized as humans.
I'm still trying to figure out one
Yeah.
thing. One
Yeah.
thing and one thing only. Why the hell that Amanda Waller was like, yes, we're gonna put him on the unalive crew over here.
Yeah.
Well, hang
He's
on,
expendable.
I mean, he's a survivor, so you know.
they're not legally the Suicide Squad. They're legally the Creature Commandos.
Yep.
No, but he was also in the Suicide Squad, and he's still a survivor.
Yeah,
That's
he was
true.
an expendable. He was an expendable agent, basically. You know,
I don't know why, but every
like
time you talk about Weasel, or every time I've seen something with Weasel, he kind of reminds me of Wild Child in a sense, but like a little bit different.
I guess you know,
I'll get into
but
that another day because this is not a Wild Child podcast. We're talking about
yeah,
Creature Commandos.
but yeah, I guess a better allegory would be to say like, imagine if you see kids playing with a tiger.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
different because this is Weasel,
yeah.
and
He
that's a
looks like
tiger.
he looks like an animal,
Yeah, because
a frightening animal.
he looks like an animal.
Yeah,
Okay, and
he looks like a werewolf or anything, you know, fangs, teeth, claws, and he's
so
playing around with
we can all agree on one thing though. We can agree on one thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why those kids died was not because of Weasel doing anything actually super dangerous at that point in time. It was because of the fear of the adults around him. Because guess what? Guess what? Bigotry can be taught. Remember that. So you can literally thank the other people who were the adults around this situation was the reason why those kids got killed.
They were
Not because of Weasel doing anything actually dangerous at that point in time. Like, would there be a possibility of Weasel actually killing those kids himself? Probably. But in this specific scenario, he himself didn't do anything wrong. He was just scapegoated because of how he looked.
If there's a possibility this thing might kill a kid, that's enough. All right, that's
yeah.
But in this situation, he was scapegoated. That's all I got to say on that.
You say he, but he's more an animal. Like, dude, there's nothing about Weasel that indicates that he has any conscious thought. He reacts as if an animal.
But Cryptid, you're not listening to what I'm saying. He got scapegoated, and that's why he's here. Regardless, you could have put anyone else in Weasel's spot, and they probably would have been scapegoated.
If I see the kids playing with an adult, well, okay, that would kind of seem weird if it's a stranger playing with a bunch of kids, but I wouldn't immediately say, oh my God, those kids' lives are in danger or anything like that, you know? Because I don't know who that person is. It could be a relative.
I don't think you guys are actually listening to what I'm saying. But okay, anyways, okay, let's move on with the episode. What else happens in the episode, Cryptid?
Yeah, Jake was about to say something.
I'm saying a grown man next to my kid is like, hey, what's going on over here? That's not the same. I'm listening. I'm saying that you're suggesting that Weasel even has a % chance of harming my kid. My kid is the priority. Okay? That's what I'm saying.
So what they should reasonably do is take their kid out of the situation. Not cause an explosion that killed the kids that you guys were trying to protect. Anyways, Cryptid, what else happens in the episode? Was that it?
That's pretty much. I got the gist of everything else that happened in this episode. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Cool. So, anyways,
all right.
Let's finish up this one so that we can move on.
Gotcha. Hold up, sick. We're going to the Alpha Flight topic next, which so
yeah. Anyways, Fantics, we are on the holiday issues. And I'm going first because I'm baller like that. So I'm talking about Alpha Flight Volume 1, Issue 105, cover date February of 1992. And you might be wondering, did these two ever wear those black and white costumes with the red maple leaf on the titty? No, you did not. No, we did not. We never seen them in these costumes before. Trust me, they never had, they never will. I don't know why Weapon Omega, also known as Kyle Gibney, also known as Wild Child, has a Spider-Man looking mask. But at this point, Jake, you can vouch for me for this. He kind of looks like he could be put in the Spider Society, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, this is their one and only holiday issue. And I read it every year because it's a great comic. And it's, when I tell you this is the gayest issue of Alpha Flight, and I fucking mean it's the gayest issue of Alpha Flight, okay? But anyways, please go to the next picture so that I can get started. Anyways, so basically it starts off at a bachelor party on Christmas Eve. And we got some lovely people here. Mostly lovely people. We got, starting from the left going to the right, we have JP, North Star, we have Walter with Sasquatch, we have Eugene, Puck, we got Madison Jeffries, we got Kyle, not Kyle Gennaro, Kyle Gibney. Just got to preface that to anyone who doesn't know. He goes by Weapon Omega at this point, but he is best known for being Wild Child, but I don't know why he still goes by Wild Child. You are a grown-ass man. And then I forgot his human alias. That's my bad, but the one on the bottom is Windshear. He is kind of forgettable, and that's partially not his fault, but that partially is the writer's fault. But anyways, besides the point, they start off at a bar, which to any Alpha Flight fans know, this was the same bar where Puck used to work at before he decided to say, fuck you guys, I'm going to go join Alpha Flight.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, again, it's a bachelor party and everyone is having a good time. They're all a little drunk. JP actually says a joke for once and everyone's laughing, being like, oh my God, I've known this guy for 6 years. He tells jokes? Oh my God. Cryptid. He tells jokes.
There you go. And the holiday spirit brings out a lot in anybody. Oh, should I say
Yeah,
the
and
Christmas
also
spirit?
alcohol. And
Yeah,
alcohol.
the Christmas spirit brings out the best of everybody, audience.
And alcohol. They're all
Mm-hmm.
drunk.
There you go.
At least tipsy, So basically, after everyone calms down a little bit, Madison Jeffries is the guy who is the groom in this situation. Asked Kyle, Weapon Omega, to be his best man, which is kind of shocking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh my God, he is shocked. He's like, what? You want me? And Jeffries is like, yeah, we were in Gamma Flight together, bestie. Like, we gotta you're like probably one of my best buddies. And Kyle is like, oh, I don't know what to say. And JP, who is very drunk, if you see the panel itself, you can tell, like, oh yeah, he's definitely a bit tipsy over here. He's like, you say we, okay? Like, fucking do it, okay? Like, and so JP proposes a toast, and they all cheers, and it's all slay. While they're doing that, we see a ominous looking person with a shotgun. Oh my God. Thoughts on shotguns? I don't know. They're guns, I guess. Anyways,
Yep.
so we cut
They have
to
a
an
bit of a
interlude.
bang to them.
Yeah, we cut
Yep.
to a little interlude thing that doesn't actually become important until 2 issues later. Because if you know anything about 106, you know about 106. Anyway, so it cuts to a funeral home, and it's about this older couple that are like, preparing the body to get buried, and they're like, we're gonna, like, it sucks that she has to get buried before her wedding day. She's gonna get buried in her wedding dress. It's gonna suck, but you know what? It's fine. Anyways, we have to end the interlude, and we have to cut to Toronto. Have you ever been to Toronto, audience? Because I have not. I don't have my passport renewed.
Mm-hmm.
I should get that done soon. Shouldn't I? I want to go to Canada one day. It'll happen. Anyway, so we cut to an apartment with 2 people, and one of them is Heather McNeil Hudson, also known at this point Guardian, because she is the leader. She slays. She should have stayed Guardian. And we have Lillian Crawley, also known as Diamond Lil, who, Marvel, please bring her back because I miss her. Okay, Cryptid, do you hear that? Do you hear my plea? Bring back Diamond Lil. Fuck you, Madison Jeffries. Anyways, so they're chit-chatting, whatever, and then they hear a car honking outside. And Heather's like, oh, that must be our ride. Like, who's driving? Jean-Marie or Aurora? Which will actually come to importance later. Because if you know anything about Aurora / Jean-Marie, they are technically 2 different people, but in the same body. Don't worry about it. It's a whole thing. You think they know how to write DID back in the day? No, they don't even know how to do it now. Okay? And so, Heather and Lillian leave, and they're going to head down to the car. So we cut over back to the guys. And Puck is like, hey guys, you guys remember me? Well, I should probably tell you that I'm not only Eugene Judd, I'm also Puck of Alpha Flight. And they laugh at him, being like, oh yeah, I'm actually the Thing from the Fantastic Four, but only on the weekends. Like, it's like if I would have guessed, you could have been Sasquatch. And one of the people sitting at the bar is like, maybe you could give me a day with Aurora, which is not super shocking. Like, honestly, Aurora probably would. Okay, if anyone who's read Alpha Flight knows, probably, honestly. Anyways, so remember that guy earlier with the shotgun? Well, he's at the door. Ooh. Anyways, we cut over to a conversation with Windshear and JP, and they're mostly just talking about Aurora / Jean Marie. That's not important. We should probably talk about what's happening behind the scenes because that's actually more important than the actual conversation that they're having. So we see this one gay couple. They're trying to have a good time. It's Christmas Eve. Like, wouldn't you want to hang out with your loved one on Christmas Eve, right, Cryptid? Exactly. And so we see these three homophobes shouting BS, because BS. And so JP's like, would you excuse me for a quick minute? I have to attend to something. Keep in mind, he's super fast. He doesn't have to goddamn move for like more than like 0.01% of a second. So when she was like, oh, what was that? And JP was like, oh, never mind. What were you saying? And so we cut over to those three homophobes from earlier where their pants are at their feet and their neckties are on the light that was above them, which I thought was hilarious. And I kind of wish I sent that to you guys, but I didn't. So that's on me. But don't worry, bestie. We get a small little conversation between Walter and Kyle, which doesn't really last all that long. And so basically, Kyle is like, okay, Walter, this is supposed to be a joyous occasion. Oh, why are you all so somber? And Walter's like, like, there's something I gotta tell you. Okay, it's something that I have to apologize for. And like Kyle's like, it's probably the alcohol talking. Probably nothing that bad. Bitch, I know what you did to Aurora. Don't think I don't know, bitch. Like, yeah, you should be sad about that. You could have like had it all out, okay? Shit. But before because he's about to say that, oh, I'm the guy responsible for blah 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 blah. The guy with the shotgun, he pulls up and he's like don't anyone move, man, or no one's gonna get hurt. And so guess what? We have to cut to the Goylies, who I like to call the holiday sapphics. That's who I'm calling them, okay? Because it is Jean Marie at this point, Lillian and Heather, and Lillian's happy that they're throwing her a bachelorette party. It's nothing too crazy, it's just the three of them. I wonder what they're gonna do at a bachelorette party. Jake, Cryptid, any guesses?
Ooh, bachelors at a party during the Christmas season. I can
A
only put two and two
bachelorette
together.
party specifically.
Oh, okay. I can only put two and two together, so.
Do you want to place any bets?
Do.
Phanatic, do you want to place any bets?
Let me guess. Dollar bill starts coming out people's hands.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, Lillian's like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for you guys that hosting a bachelorette party for me, like, and all this other stuff. And Heather's like, so Jean Marie, like, what's this Cloisters place? Like, have you ever been there before? And JM is like, no, I haven't. Aurora made the reservation, but she assured me it is a respectable establishment. And guess what, Cryptid? It is a strip club.
I knew dollar bills will be flying around people's hands. So
I need to preface a quick thing before I move on, okay? So Jean Marie is I guess the quote unquote more stuck up one. I guess you could say the more I don't know if I would say conservative one, but kind of along the lines of that. She grew up very Catholic. I need to preface that, like, very, very Catholic. And so Aurora is basically the opposite of that. So since Aurora made the reservation, not Jean Marie, if it was up to Jean Marie, they would have had a nice dinner, But anyways, so she is like, Miss Crawley, Mrs. Hudson, next time you see Aurora, tell her I'm going to kill her. Honestly, you've tried. You've tried. She's also tried. It has not worked. You guys got to share the same body, bestie. Anyways, back at the bar. So the guy with the shotgun is like, I don't want to ruin anyone's holiday, but I have to ask you to give me all your money. I even promise to pay you back with interest. Please cooperate. I don't want to hurt anyone. And guess what? All the Alphen boys are laughing at him, because he sounds fucking stupid. Like, with interest, you ain't gonna pay us back for shit. Like, if you're gonna do a robbery, do it right,
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when Windshear is like responding to the guy, like crying, laughing, and he's like this, and obviously JP's gonna do what JP does and basically super speed him like away from his gun and everything into the air. It slays. Jeffries uses his power to manipulate inorganic matter like metal and wood and stuff, and he made a cute little bunny rabbit out of a shotgun. It slays.
Mm-hmm.
And so the robber, like the quote unquote robber guy, he's like, oh my, like, please let go of me, please. And Puck is like, okay, next time you plan to knock over a pub on Christmas Eve, like, you'll probably want to pick a different establishment that isn't filled with superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
So we cut over back to the club, and they're all having, most 2/3 out of them are having a good time. And so the waiter comes in and is like, can I get you ladies anything else? And JM is like, a noose, probably. And I was like, that's hilarious. That's funny. But anyways, so Lil is like, Heather, like, I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything, but you've been married before and you've also been with Jeffries. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, what should I expect on my wedding night? And freaking Heather don't have an answer for that. She's like, well, so JM butts in because of course she does. And she's like, okay, you shouldn't be nervous about fulfilling your quote unquote lively obligations, Miss Crawley, no matter how vile and disgusting they seem. Like, think of it as a necessary evil of the sacred gift of matrimony. Do you understand what I'm talking about when they're two different people, JM and Aurora?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I need to like specify that because there's gonna be a switch pretty soon.
Gotcha.
And Lil is like, oh, thanks, JM. That was enlightening. Yeah, enlightening. Anyways, so Heather is like, well, I'm not one to kiss and tell. I'm sure you realize Jeffries is a kind and sensitive man, And so we get a quick introduction to Aurora in this, and she's like, details, Heather, details. And so you know what she decides to do. Knowing this character, she decides to get up on the stage where all the dancers are, all the male dancers, and she starts dancing with them. And Lil is like, I think I like her better than JM. And Heather's like, no contest, because Aurora's a lot more fun than JM. Keep in mind, like, I don't know, it just depends on who you are as a person. I like Aurora as she is, okay? I like her no matter what. Anyways, cut back to the bar because we're doing a lot of cuts, bestie. And so Sasquatch is jokingly about to pound him into dust, and the guy is like, please don't, I can't go to jail tonight's of all nights, I'm just trying to help my family. They're gonna kick me out if I can't get the money, blah 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 blah. And all the guys feel bad. And Kyle's like, yeah, well, no matter what, the gun's empty. He wasn't gonna actually hurt anyone. So they decide they're gonna help this guy out. I know it's 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve, but don't worry about it. They help out a guy on Christmas Eve. Thoughts on that, Cryptid?
They help a guy on Christmas Eve. Tis
Exactly.
the season to be given,
Exactly. But before Puck leaves, the bar owner, he's like, oh, Puck, wait up. I owe you an apology. Like, it's obvious you do know some of the members of Alpha Flight. So can I get like an 8x10 of Guardian? And Puck leaves all like grumpily because he cannot win with these people. We cannot win. Anyway, so one of the servers at the club tells his boss that there's some bimbo on the dance floor distracting from our performance audiences. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll handle it. So we hear, we see the person walking up to the thing, and like there's like onomatopoeias over here being like doom, doom, doom. And so before Aurora can do anything too crazy, she gets bonked away from the dancer that she was about to make out with, because is very Aurora. And can you switch to the next picture? I don't remember what picture I posted next. Yeah, we get to see Pink Pearl again for the second time. I think the last time too. Don't quote me on that.
I thought that was Big Bertha for a sec.
No, Big Bertha came later in the Great Lakes Avengers. This is Pink Pearl. We actually get introduced to her in an earlier issue. I think issue 22. I was right. And she was basically trying to fuck over this one circus troupe that was touring Canada because she wanted to do some crazy bombing stuff, like explosion stuff, and blame it on JP because of his past with the FLQ. Don't worry about the FLQ. That's not important. If I was talking about Marvel fanfare, we would be talking about that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Pink Pearl. So basically, Aurora is like, "Oh my god, Pink Pearl, like please let go of me. You're hurting me." And Pink Pearl is like, "Oh, you got that right, you naughty little girl. Like you hurt Pearl lots and lots of times. Like the last time we met, like you and your cursed twin brother cost Pearl a pretty penny." So Heather's like, Pink Pearl, like, can we like talk about this? You know? And Lil's like, say over dinner, like it'll be our treat, obviously. And Pearl is like, I still bear the scar that you gave me the last time, Aurora. Which, if you don't remember, she was stabbed by Aurora. Obviously, she's fine.
Yeah.
And so guess what? Aurora's like, believe me, I think you confused me for someone else, and kicks her in the neck. Dang. I don't have that panel, but it's a great panel. So guess what? They start fighting. Oh, they're scrapping. Slay. You know, slay. And they're all fighting. And so Heather and Lil obviously have to get into this because, you know, this is kind of Aurora and Pink Pearl's mess, but like they kind of gotten involved. So that's not going to go well. But don't worry. It's all good. Guess what? Lillian, like, I don't remember if it was Lillian or Aurora, but one of them punches Pink Pearl out of the club. Guess what? A police car was right outside the door, bestie. So someone's getting in trouble. And it ain't gonna be me. Fuck it, finally. Yeah. Anyways, meanwhile, uptown, we see this one landlord guy counting money, singing his own version of a Christmas song. And the door opens. It swooshes open. You have Sasquatch there. You have Windshear without a shirt for some reason. And you have Puck in a trench coat. And they claim to be the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. Because of course they are. And they're like, give us the deed to this one house. And they're like, oh, okay. And so he does it. And so we cut over to that man's house. And so JP grabs all the shit that he could get from like a few mile radius, like a 5 mile radius. Just kidding, not 5 miles. Jeffries, you liar. It was 15. Because he's fast enough to do that. And so Jeffries makes a whole bunch of toys and a Christmas tree and all this other stuff. So Kyle, you're supposed to be a convert operative. You're not supposed to go through the fucking front door, you son of a bitch. I love you. I will defend you with my life. But you could have gone through the back door? There was probably a back door. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying. And so while Kyle is doing that, love him. Jeffries and JP, they look at each other in a very homosexual fashion. And they say Merry Christmas to each other, you know? It's all great. So we cut over to 5 minutes and 100 miles later, and JP goes back to his apartment after, you know, home sweet home, after a long night of male bonding. He says that. He says male bonding.
Yeah.
Do you know what issue comes next? Anyways, so he gets a phone call at 3 a.m, and he lets the answering machine answer for him. Can you switch to the next picture, please? There we go. So basically, it's Aurora being like, hey, it's JM. So Miss Hudson, Miss Crawley, and I have been arrested for a bar fight. Like, who would have thought Pink Pearl became like an actual legitimate businesswoman after her trying to like ruin our lives? Who would have thunk? And so JP like strips off and he's like, and he goes to bed and he's like, oh, that Aurora, always joking around. Can you switch to the next picture? And that's where the main issue ends. But we do get this fun shot for for the holidays. That's where this ends.
Oh.
Ew. So I I think it's funny. So after the notes, like the fan letters, it says like the next issue is called North Star's Revelation. The next issue is JP coming out. That's the next issue. And then the issue after that is a fun adventure with X Factor, 90s X Factor, going to deal with the zombie bride from earlier. Do you remember the bride from earlier who died? I remember that.
When you see one zombie bride, you see them all.
True. I don't know. This was like kind of a yandere kind of fashion, but it's fine. I love this issue. It's so much fun. I love the character dynamics in this. Like, yeah, were a lot of them drunk as hell. Yeah, but it was the fun of it. We have a gay old time. I know you probably won't see it, but any audience member who's read this book, can you agree with me that this is a very fruity issue? Like, how much you want to bet all the guys at that bachelor party have hooked up at least once with each other? We already know that happened. Like the holiday sapphics, those three, I ship all three of them together. Okay, if it was up to me, Lillian and Heather would leave their fucking husbands and get together because I love their chemistry more than those two with their husbands. Trust, and I will be talking about this issue in a future panel that I'm working on, so stay tuned for that at the Uncanny Experience next year. Anyways, happy holidays, y'all. Let's go to the next book before I keep ranting.
Okay, all right then.
Oh, my
With
hands
that, let's move on. Let's move on to the next Christmas special issue for a Christmas episode, audience. Deadpool #7 from Scottie Young. Now, this was like a couple years ago, right? Scottie Young, he had a tall order to fill because this was right after the Jerry Duggan run of Deadpool, which is the most phenomenal run of Deadpool that there'll ever be written. So, everything else will have to be paled into comparison to that, right? So, this is basically Deadpool trying to go back to basics. He goes back in the merch business and he has to start from the ground up, which thinking about that now, like, oh wow, he really didn't grow at all since he's literally doing the same thing right now in the current Deadpool book by Cody Ziegler. So, all right. So, what makes this issue a little bit special? Oh, a little thing called Christmas happened. And you know that whole joyous feel you got as a kid when you come down to the tree and find all those Christmas presents for being
No.
such a good kid all year round? Well, this year no kid got any presents.
What?
Ooh, ooh. All the kids are angry, so angry that they all banded together. They got their allowances in order, and they went to Deadpool because they wanted to hire Deadpool to kill Santa Claus.
Damn. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Talk about keeping motivation for completing your job on time, Santa. You had one job to do, one job for one day a year, and you couldn't even do that, man. So, all right. Deadpool has to take this job because again, Diggs aren't doing too good in his newly established Merc business. I mean, for God's sakes, he's setting up shop at a mall. You know how depressing that is at this point, at a really crappy mall. So, he goes to the North Pole. He finds Santa's workshop. Yeah, it looks like it's seen better days. He has a brief fight with Mrs. Claus, who shoots a shotgun at him, but Deadpool disarms her and has her bring him over to Santa. And you find Santa, and well, the dude's in his underwear, drinking. Yeah. Something really foul happened this specific year in the North Pole, and apparently Deadpool wasn't the only hitman that was after him. So, yeah, Santa came prepared. He came prepared for a fight. So, yeah, full on Deadpool versus Santa Claus action here, audience. And you would think Deadpool would, knock this one out of the bag, but as Deadpool is surprised, Santa Claus can hold his own in a fight. He's like saying, Wow, damn, you're so damn fast. And Santa Claus' rebuttal was, well, my son, a few billion presents lunged up and down chimneys all around the world, the globe, in one night, builds up stamina and speed and strength. Bam. So, yeah. I mean, overall, the fight ends up with Deadpool winning, and then he's like, okay, I'm sorry I have to do this stand up, but a couple of kids paid me, and I have to keep a reputation up. No, no, I can't kill Santa. I can't do it. Damn it. Looks like we both suck at our jobs. you know, but this is where Santa tells Deadpool what ended up happening. You see, Santa was the jolly old Saint Nicholas type you would associate him with being,
Mm-hmm.
only only for one of his elves to come up with the greedy bug on him. So yeah,
Not the
one elf.
greedy bug.
Yep, one elf was like, you know what? This toy making business, let's make some money off it, old man. So he ends up going to the outside world and tries bringing Roxxon into the mix.
I swear to God, they need to stop bringing Roxxon into everything.
I know, right? Well, what other corrupt businesses are there in Marvel? Which
I don't know. Figure out
Hammer
something.
Industries, like something?
What
I
the
don't
fuck is
know.
Hammer doing? Hammer's not doing anything.
I know, right?
What the fuck is
But
Hammer
yeah,
doing?
say, well, basically the elf tries to convince Santa to sell over Christmas to Roxxon, and Santa's like, "No, this was never about the money. This was about the joy and cheer in the children's eyes." So the elf,
Exactly.
so the elves decided, you know what, screw it. He stages a revolt with the other elves and convinces all of them to leave Santa's workshop and go work for him in Roxxon. So Santa no longer has any elves in his factory. Yeah, this is how Santa's workshop got thrown in the muck. So Deadpool ends up paying a visit to Roxxon, and it's the most stereotypical corporately greed factory you would think of, but it has a highlighted logo of Roxxon Toys. Damn, where's the love? Deadpool comes in. Of course, long story short, he ends up making short work of that one greedy elf. You know, kills them, and then they all come back to Santa's workshop. And Santa himself is so grateful. He's like saying, "Thank you, Wade. I may have to move you from the naughty to the nice list this year for this." Aw.
Ooh.
Hey, yay. And of course, all the equipment and toys that were made in that Roxxon factory. Wade's like, okay, here you can have them. I'm sure you'll be able to put them to good use. So yeah, that's pretty much how this Christmas special ends, audience. Yay! It gives you the Christmas spirit,
Woo!
for this Christmas episode, audience. So yeah,
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 Deadpool deciding to have a soul and not kill Santa.
yeah. It's so hard, right?
How did we go from me talking about gay bitches to Deadpool not wanting to kill Santa Claus?
I know, right? So anyway, yeah, that's it for this issue. All right,
Isn't it
okay.
Jake's turn? Or am I going
Jake,
crazy?
Jake, do you have a Christmas
Jake.
comic you want to talk about?
Jake Nation. I think Jake's dead.
Okay,
Jake. Anyways, we can cut them. What's the next one?
it's the last one of the night. So
Okay, if Jake doesn't come back to talk about his, then we'll end it off with mine. Anyways,
gotcha.
I'm talking to the pre-Christmas issue of Marvel Voices Avengers Academy, issue 26. It's called Advent. If you know anything about that word, have you ever heard of an advent calendar in your life? No? Well, that's on you. Anyway, so we cut to the Savage Lands above the Avengers Academy. And so we see Justin in his little his little gear, his lumberjack gear, because Canada. Well, before any Canadians give me shit for saying Canada, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Leave me alone. Shut up. I'll fight you. You know I'll win. Anyways, yeah, it's basically leading a little troop of Devil Dinosaur, Lunella, and Normie. and they're gonna get a nice, cool Christmas tree, you know. And Lunella does what Lunella does best and starts rambling, you know, and all that jazz. And Normie's like, "Sorry, Lunella, I just kind of meant, gee, it's cold, you know, kind of like because it's cold outside. It's wintertime." I wouldn't know anything about that because I live in the Southwest, and if you know anything about the Southwest, it does not get cold here. I hate it here. Cryptid, I hate it here. It's not cold enough here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so Normie's like, "Do you do Christmas, Lunella? Like, what do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I set a trap for Santa when I was 4, but it just ended up tasering my dad. You?" And Normie's like, "Yeah, we're rich, so yeah." And so Justin is like trying to show off a tree, and he's like, "Isn't it beautiful? The perfect Christmas tree." And so, with the help of Devil, he cuts down the tree. And while the kiddos are making snow angels and snowmen, they're having a good time. And Normie's like, "Oh yeah, we didn't really do much God stuff growing up. You know, church is mostly something we rent for funerals and weddings. First weddings, anyways. Second weddings, or just like tasteful brunches, obviously. Like we sent cards, blah 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 blah. Yeah, we didn't really do much for Christmas because rich people." And so Lunella's like, "What about you, Justin? Like, what do you like about Christmas so much?" And can you switch to the next picture, Krypton? The one with the tree. Yes, thank you. And so Justin's like, "What? It's the best, baking and getting people presents and songs. It's also pretty." So he's a Christmas gay. That's who he is. He is a Christmas gay boy. And so Normie's like, and the other stuff, like the believing stuff, like why would a god want to be a person? Justin's like, "I don't know. Like, I'm not smart about things like that. I don't know what I believe, but it's a nice feeling. It's worth it, you know?" So Normie's like, he looks out to the distance and is like, "Hey, is that supposed to happen?" And so they look beyond the trees and the snow, and they see this spooky aura. Ooh, it's spooky. And so they're like, "Yeah, we gotta save Christmas. Yay!" Saving Christmas, y'all. It's like Nightmare Before Christmas, but instead of turning Halloween into Christmas, it's more like saving Christmas from Halloween. Like, we actually got to see the other side of the story, you know? Anyway, so we cut over to the Midnight Chapel. And we see a very specific person at the Midnight Chapel. And they're like, "Halt. Who are you? And who dared tread on the threshold of infinity?" And so Brielle, we get to see Brielle, Bloodline, if you didn't know. She's like, "Ah, great, another weird dude floating around this place." And she's like, "Stay behind us, kids." And Sheila's like, Escapade, by the way. She's like, "We'll deal with this, I want to say robot wizard, bedazzled Dr. Doom." And so the person in question is like, Brielle Brooks, Sheila Sexton, the Vanquishers of Emplay. Welcome. Can you switch to the next picture, please? Thank you. Look how cunty he looks. Like, come on. Like, Jake, I know you're probably busy. And Austin, I don't know where you at, but come on, this is very cunty material. The artist knew what they were doing when they were drawing this panel. Okay? This is a very cunty issue. Anyways, so he's like, "Oh, sorry. This is the first time we're technically meeting for you two, right? That almost never happens for me." Well, it's complicated. Anyways, so he's like, my friends, Tommy, Billy, like, I've never imagined you guys this young. I finished my work and you are just starting. And Billy's like, "You're weird. But like, I like your cape and I like your helmet. Like, ooh, I can see the future in here." So obviously, Billy and Tommy in this case are kiddos. They're gonna do kiddo things. And Nathaniel Richards, if you didn't know, he also went by Iron Lad, but he's not by Iron Lad right now. He's just letting them have a good time. And Brielle's like, "So sorry, like, who are you?" And Nathaniel is like, "Well, that's actually a really complicated question." And so Billy starts getting paranoid again. And he's like, "Tommy, are we safe? Is Blackheart following us?" And he's like, "No, Billy, I think the demon's actually leaving us alone." And they're like, why would he do that?" And so Mephisto does Mephisto stuff, and he's like, "You let them escape Blackheart? Did you think in your arrogance I would not see this?" And so Blackheart is like, but. And so Mephisto is like, "Did you imagine on my left hand that there was a cobweb's corner of this sad little dimension? You could hide your deeds from me." And so basically Blackheart is like begging for mercy at this point. And so Mephisto's like, "To lie to me, Mephisto, who am the father of lies?" I don't know. I think Loki might have to fight you on that. We'll see who's the better liar here. Everyone, place your bets in the comments below. Who is the better liar, Loki or Mephisto? Okay, so anyways, Blackheart's like, "We show the world as corruption, father, but these boys are innocents, true innocents, no past, no faults." And Mephisto's like, "They are my children." And he decides to be a little bitch ass and basically kind of chains up Blackheart in these rose chains, like, you know how like roses have thorns, it's kind of like that. And so Mephisto's like, "Is this what this tantrum's about? And so will it be?" So we cut over back to the Midnight Chapel, you know. And so Sheila's like, "Okay, one more time, who the hell are you?" And so Nate is like, "Right, sorry, like I said, time displacement is always so weird, but I am slash was Nathaniel Richards. I also went by Iron Lad." And Brielle's like, "As in Kang the Conqueror?" And Nate's like, "Kind of, yes, a version of me, yeah. Like, I was a king who got to die a hero for once, so that's slay." And we see a lot of the Paradox art behind him, you know, with like baby Teddy meeting his mom, Iron Lad dying. You get the idea. If you know anything about Young Avengers, you know. Like, actually know anything about Young Avengers, you know. So, yeah. But don't worry. He got brought back to life by a lovely lady with pink magic. So he goes by Immortus now because slay. But anyways, so like Brielle and Sheila are like, "Yeah, nice try. We got the whole lecture on chrono threads from like several serious X-Men types, and yeah, Immortus is like some crazy guy with like a weird kooky hat obsession. I don't know, it's weird." And so Nate is like, well, yeah, I was so much older then. Like, I'm younger than that now, as you can obviously see. Like, look at me." Anyways, sorry, there's something in my throat. Plus, a way better outfit. I mean, like, it is a way better outfit. It's very cunty in question. Like, as you can see, Phanatic, you can see it's a very cunty outfit. To the people who are just listening to it, go read this issue of Avengers Academy, and you will know it is very cunty in nature. But anyways, so they're like, "Okay, well, Teen Immortus, we got 2 young fugitive kids on the run from a demon. What should we do?" And he's like, "Oh, I have no idea, but I bet McCran does. And plus, she's here right now. So can I have my helmet back?" And so they're like, "What helmet?" So we cut over to Mephisto, as you do. And he's like, "Do you regard this world with these little beasts with envious eyeballs? Then I shall send you as a lamb amongst the wolves.